Okay, so hello and welcome. We have Prageet Harris visiting the studio just as we're going live.
Oh,
wow. Do you want to come say hello? Oh. We literally just got on camera. Oh, really? Yeah.
Come in.
Come say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Sweet. So welcome everyone from around the world. This is our special solstice live stream. I'm here with Linda Kubota Byrd.
Yes, hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for prompting us to do this.
Oh, well, it's a big deal, you know? Yeah.
Yay. So bring your energy here. Today is the solstice, and whether you're watching live with us right now in the energy of the astrology of the solstice, or whether you're watching this on a different day, just tune in to this now moment beyond space and time. And welcome. We have Elena from Finland, Marta from Spain, Diane from New York, Craig from South Africa, Marty from Vienna, David and Sinead from England. Welcome. Bring your presence here, everyone, and feel. Right before we went live, Linda and I activated the Stargate, and there was such a strong energy already.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Yeah.
So this is a really special day. We're going to be going deep into the energies. But first, we're going to talk about astrology.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the reason this is a big deal day is, well, there's 4 big deal days during the year, except this year, this particular solstice is extra charged. Okay. It seems. Yeah. So solstice, as many of you know, is the shortest night of the year in the northern hemisphere, and the longest in the southern hemisphere, which I found was really interesting because it's kind of a representation how everything's balanced. Yeah. You know. So yeah. So this particular one is the beginning of winter in the northern hemisphere, and it starts the Capricorn season.
Yeah, welcome to Capricorn season.
Yes.
So tell us what's special about the solstice.
As far as just the energy, it's like a new beginning. It's the energy changes from Scorpio energy into Capricorn. And so there's this whole different shift in the field.
You mean Sag?
Sag, thank you. Yes, yeah. Sag. My brain. I thought that wasn't right, but something was. Anyway, yeah, from Sag. So yeah, it's Sag is kind of like this really kind of open, flowing, almost optimistic. Well, I could say optimistic, although this year maybe not so much. But Capricorn is getting grounded, down to earth, more realistic, you know. So it's a switch, and I think one of the big things it's about taking responsibility. Capricorns are really about being responsible, and as we've been hearing in a lot of the Alcazar transmissions, it's been about being personally responsible, and so I think that's a big deal.
Yeah. And you mentioned on the solstice that there's an alignment with Galactic Center. Is that right?
Yes, it actually was on the full moon the other day on the 18th.
Oh, wow.
We were in alignment with the Galactic Center. And what that means is that it's just that we have this portal.
Mhm.
It feels like a portal of energy that comes in from the central sun, or the very essence of what we're about. And so we have this download of a frequency change.
Mm.
So I read somebody said that it's infrared radiation that actually comes in, and it changes our energy field.
What kind of
And
radiation?
so infrared.
Oh, wow.
They said, yeah. So, and it pressures the subconscious mind to release learned behaviors and memories that no longer serve us.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a real powerful time to be doing some inner work, to do some inner exploration, to see what is it that you want to let go of that we've been carrying around for maybe lifetimes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Infrared radiation from the black hole at the center of our galaxy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
And Pam Gregory, wonderful astrologer from the UK, has been saying that we're in a photon belt that's also been working with our energy fields
Mhm.
and awakening us to a higher consciousness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, timing is good. I wrote a little haiku for this one. It's just live in the quantum. Everything is frequency. Vibrate love and light.
Live in the quantum. Everything is frequency. Vibrate love and light. I'm just going to invite everyone who's on this stream right now just to take a moment to attune to the energies of the solstice, just with your intention, as if you're opening your field to allow the energies that are streaming in from the cosmos. And just asking inside for the energy of the earth, Gaia, to come up into your body, into your energy field. Just allowing the earth energies to make contact consciously with you. The earth right now feels like she's bathing in cosmic frequencies. So see if, as if you're in that bath with Gaia, see if you can just float with your awareness. And take a moment just to plant a seed of acknowledging the specialness, the sacredness of the solstice in whatever way is meaningful to you. If you're in the northern hemisphere, this marks the turning point, the darkest day of the year, the shortest day of the year. And now it means that every day until now, we're going to be gaining more light. And if you're in the spring, this is the ripeness. It's the longest day of the year. It's the fruition of summer. It's a celebration. And wherever we are on the planet, we're in this cosmic gateway. And there are a lot of people all around the world who are honoring this day. And so there's a general receptivity in the morphic field to what is sacred, to our higher intention. Okay.
Yeah.
And
That's beautiful. It's like the whole world is sharing in the oneness, because we're all acknowledging the specialness of today.
I feel that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you have many different facets of the astrology that you want to share with us all.
Well, there's a lot, and I'm not going to go into every little detail, but the Chiron went direct on the 19th, so real recently. And so if you've done your inner work, then this should feel like you have more confidence. But if you haven't, then it's still a good time because it's direct to really go in. And so again, I'm big on these haikus lately. I find that astrology is very verbal because it's left brain, so you do explaining a lot. And uh, I like to express what the energy is through just a few words. And so haiku, for those of you who aren't aware or familiar, it's a Japanese poetry style that I just recently kind of learned about. And it's 17 syllables. So it's 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. So anyway, if it doesn't make sense, it's because I had to squeeze the words together. Anyway, so for the Chiron direct, it's trust in the process, living in the space of grace, be with your feelings. So it really is living in the space of grace and recognizing we're always in grace, even when things seem chaotic. Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of a Tony Robbins quote that life happens for us, not to us.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's really, really, really important to remember, because as long as we're holding victim consciousness, then we're carrying a lower frequency and we're being asked to raise our frequency. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we're here to learn from the perspective of our superconscious. We're actually not here to have these cushy, cozy lives all the time.
No, we asked for this.
We did, yeah. We're here in deep service.
Right.
For sure.
Right. Yeah. And also, they say that the light is darkest before the dawn, or it's darkest before the dawn.
Yeah.
It's like things get really chaotic before breakthrough.
Yeah.
And oftentimes I tell my clients, it's like when the sound barrier was broken. I don't know, a long time ago, there's a movie about the Chuck Yeager who broke the sound barrier. And he went up, and it was when he got close to it, the plane would start to shake and rattle, and it felt like it was going to fall apart. And he'd back off, and he'd land. And then one day he just decided he's going to go up, and he's just going to, if he dies, he dies.
Wow.
And so he went up, and it was just the plane got really, really rocky, and then poof, he went through. Wow. And I was like, wow. Yeah. And I kind of think that's what life is kind of like.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
It's when we go right through it that we break through to the other side. And then,
but it takes courage
yeah,
to stand in that, the destabilized part.
Yeah, I mean, they say the calm before the storm, but the calm after the storm is really real.
Right.
And Alcazar said this also, that chaos precedes the breakthrough. And that's sort of, I think, part of the mechanism of the stubbornness that we carry, like the resistance to change that we carry. It's like when we're in the full chaos, it's like that's when we're really able to acknowledge what truly is going on. And so we can, I know a lot of people have been going through a lot lately. And it's important to remember that this is a growth edge. This is actually a time in our lives that we can hold a kind of grace around and a kind of compassion around, instead of wishing that it wasn't the way that it is. We can actually be like saying to ourselves, okay, I'm going to emerge from this alchemically changed in the cauldron of this time.
And to remember we came for this time,
right,
to assist humanity in evolving. So yeah, it's just a change in your attitude.
Right. So let's just take a moment to send love to all those people, anyone who's been feeling their heart, their beingness struggling. Let's just all send them. Can you feel that? It's like a big wave of compassion. An energetic embrace. You're not alone.
Mm-mm.
You're all one. Okay.
And really to just drop into the Stargate morphic field.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, when you're feeling stressed or something, just remind yourself, just drop in, connect, you know, because it's so beautiful.
It's an infusion of wisdom and support that we can all
Mm-hmm.
tap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So the other thing that's going on right now is Venus went retrograde, and Venus is the planet of our values and our relationships and actually and money and finances and things like that too. And so when it's retrograde, then any planet, when it goes retrograde, it's an opportunity to revisit and relook at, you know, what are our values? And I think that's going on the global level.
Mm-hmm.
We're all looking at what is really important. In fact, I think that's the lockdown. A lot of us reprioritized what was important and so forth. So, so I just wrote a haiku about Venus. Is Venus retrograde, planet of love and values, reconnect with you, like the big you. Yeah. Yeah. Because we can get caught in the 3D little petty stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I mean, yeah. But when you kind of step back and you know, breathe and really connect with Mother Earth and Gaia and the morphic field, and you remember, you know, we're not just this 3D Linda and Jules, we're more. Yeah.
Yeah. It's that knowingness, like in a sense, it's a detachment, but it's also
Mhm.
as if you're taking an elevated perspective at the same time.
Right.
When you remember, like, if we all tap in to the witness
Mhm.
right now, it's like suddenly things can drop off that we've been holding on to.
Mhm. It reframes the story. Because
Right.
you could, like you say, you kind of become the observer and you look at yourself from a different perspective, and it takes a sting, I think, out of, you know, whatever issue is
And it
front
reminds
and
you,
center.
that you're choosing.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
can choose
We're
to
always
be
that
the
choice.
hero in your journey. And then it's like the pathway becomes clearer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have something with that later.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. And then the other thing, along with this Mercury retrograde, Mercury is going to be retrograde for 40 days and 40 nights. So it's a long retrograde.
That's an
And
interesting
I
phenomena.
know, isn't it? And at the same time, it's going to meet up with Pluto. And Pluto is the planet of, well, in my analogy, that all the planets create our inner committee.
Mhm.
And Pluto I assign as the guide who comes in to keep our soul on track, or he's our spirit guide. And so in the committee analogy, he's kind of like the chairman of the board. He's outside of the story. He's kind of above it, kind of looking at the whole thing. And so when you have Pluto talking to Venus together, it's serious. It's like really get down and really look at what's going on the very large level. And so, so when they're in Capricorn right now, so for Capricorn, the questions are, how do I use time? Because, you know, I think, well, I don't know, but I always say I don't have enough.
Right.
I always plan more than I have time for, and then I get frustrated. So, yeah. So how do I use my time? And how do I use resources? So this is really important on a global scale too, is how do we use our natural resources, and how do we use our money, and where do we invest, that kind of thing, you know? And then the final is, what is my place here? I think a lot of people have been questioning that. Why am I here? what is my purpose? And I think for many of us, it's just to hold the higher frequency, whether we're doing something active or just at home vibrating love.
Yeah.
That it's in the field. We are contributing.
Yeah.
That we're contributing at all times. So be mindful of what we contribute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Venus-Pluto connection, they're going to come together directly on, they were together on the 11th and on Christmas Day,
Whoa.
which is going to be really interesting because so many people will be with family on Christmas Day. And so to have Venus and Pluto together, it's kind of, it may be where you can address some things that have been, in the shadows. Yeah. There's just awareness around it, is helpful because you won't be reactive should something come up. Because Pluto's the lord of the underworld.
Yeah.
So it's like, things could come up from maybe even past lifetimes, who
Wow.
knows,
Okay.
but yeah. So Christmas Day and then again on March 3rd. So
Venus and Pluto are dancing
they're
together.
dancing for quite a while together. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's when they're together, I always think of them as, the Venus, the goddess of beauty and love, and Pluto, like, okay. So they're talking together and they're negotiating,
Right.
So on the first pass with any retrogrades, then you say on December 11th, then it was like, it could have been kind of chaotic and difficult and you might have felt a little bit out of sorts. And then on Christmas Day, it's like, oh, I felt this before. Let me see how I can work with it. And then on March 3rd, then it should be, if we're doing the work along the way, then March 3rd we move forward from a clearer place, and that our values are more defined and hopefully deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Great.
yeah. Okay,
Isn't
so
it fun how the stars support us and the
they
planets?
totally support us. Absolutely. Oh yes. And then on Christmas Eve, all year long we've been talking about the Saturn-Uranus square. So Saturn, structure, tradition, the old ways.
Do your homework.
Yeah, do your homework. Yeah, and it's the the government, banking, the economy, all that kind of thing.
Okay.
Saturn, and then Uranus is about change. It's the Great Awakener, and so we have this very solid. This is how it has always been. This is how it always will be. Against why? Why can't we change? Let's do it different. Let's do it in a different way. And so they've met up 3 times this year. And on Christmas Eve, they're meeting up for the exact final time. They'll still be flavoring next year too. But again, I think Saturn's been kind of winning along the way because they squared. So they are challenging us to take action of some sort. But Uranus this is the third pass, and Uranus is the more outer planet, and the outer planet always wins. So Uranus on Christmas Eve, there'll probably be a breakthrough in the energy where things start to shift into something more progressive, and that we start to look at things from a wider, maybe a more hopeful perspective of what the future can hold, that we can start dreaming bigger and imagining, a brighter future.
Yeah.
So, but it also can mean, for instance, the whole COVID thing, the lockdowns and the mandates and all that, and Uranus is no, Uranus is freedom. And so there may be, we'll feel an internal struggle as well as what we may see on the outside where there's more protests and things like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that the more people who are doing the internal work, the less it has to show up in the external because we're creating We're creating our reality.
learning
so.
the lesson so it doesn't have to manifest to show us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prageet's
So.
here watching, and I just want to remind him that he has a haircut. You know, it's 11:25. Bye. I've been like, well, looking at the time. All right, cool. Thanks for dropping by.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, so the haikus for this one. Oh, yeah. And the other thing I was going to mention that on the 28th, well, yeah. Should I save it? Oh, with this, this last conjunction, then there's going to be a quintile to Jupiter, which gives the words were lofty spiritual potential.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I thought that was really
And
exciting.
Okay, so the 28th is also the day that we're starting the live stream
I know.
from London.
I know. And Jupiter moves into Pisces on that day. But I'm going to save that for just a second.
Okay, we'll move into that in a minute.
Yeah, in a minute.
Cool.
Because I was just going to say that. So for the final Saturn-Uranus square, the haiku is, let go of his story, H-I-S, his story, which in some ways, because we're moving out of the patriarchal times, that I thought, oh, isn't it interesting? When you guys were doing something, I was listening the other day and this just popped in. I thought, history. Oh my gosh, that's his story.
Wow.
And live in the mystery. Be your own hero. H-E-R. Be your own hero. Yeah. Isn't that cool? I mean, it just kind of, I thought, oh, isn't that interesting as we're moving from the patriarchy into more equality, that we look at history, and most of us, our history isn't maybe real. It's just what we want to remember. And so, yeah, so look at our stories and then live in the mystery, be in this place of wonder. Yeah, I think that's one of the beauties of Christmas, is that it brings up the child in us. This kind of childlike wonder. It's like this renewal of this whole sense of we do live in a mystery. Yeah, and it's exciting. And then be your own hero. Because we can't expect other people to do it for us. It's up to us. And then and this next one is for any challenging transits, but challenging transits, your resistance brings chaos, flowing brings magic.
Whoa.
So, yeah. So anytime we're in any kind of resistance, then the more you resist, as they say, the more you resist, the more it persists. And so when you let go and trust that there's some higher reason for this, then the magic happens. You allow the magic to happen. Yeah.
Wow.
Very exciting. Yeah. So if you want, you can look back on February 17th and June 14th were the other two times that these two planets hit. And this was the whole theme for 2021. And moving into 2022, they'll still be dancing close together, relatively close. They don't come exactly together again, but in October, they'll be within the same degree, not the same minute. So we're going to see a similar energy coming up, but hopefully evolved. Yeah. By then. Yeah. And let's see. And then on the 25th, that's when Venus conjuncts Pluto. That one, because Venus, another thing that's going on all year, this year, coming up here, is Venus and Mars will be dancing together, the masculine and feminine, which is really interesting. I think on April, I didn't write it down, but early April 5th, I think, they're both going to move into Aquarius together. So that'll be an interesting time. And so the haiku for that is, come into balance, feminine and masculine. Healing is wholeness.
Wow.
So, Yeah. When we come into wholeness, then we're healed. Yeah.
I mean, that's just so profound. Venus and Mars both going into Aquarius.
I know.
Wow.
I know. Yeah. It is. It's a big deal. And I think that is indicative of this balancing of the masculine and feminine. So, yeah. Again, it's exciting.
That is really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then coming to the 28th. The 28th, Jupiter enters Pisces. And this, well, later in the month, in April, then Jupiter and Neptune will come together in Pisces, which is, I think, my opinion is it's the most profound astrological event of the year. Yeah. They haven't come together in Pisces since 1856. So, and Pisces, as many of you know, is more compassion. It's more oneness mentality. It's more, well, mentality is maybe not the right word. It's just the sense of oneness, that we're all one being, not just humanity, but all things. So, so there's great hope, I think, for that. There's hope, and so I'm encouraging people to dream big.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ask for what you want. It's an exciting time. Yeah. So, but what was also interesting then on the 28th, then Jules, I was looking at when the event in London's going to be, and it's on the 28th. So once again, Alcazar and is moving with the astrology of the time. Yeah, because I can't think of anything more profound than Jupiter moving into Pisces while we're activating the ley lines on the planet and really raising consciousness into the higher frequencies.
I mean, it's so amazing. You told me this morning, and I'm like, wow, because Preet and I, we don't try to plan our events around astrology. We actually just plan them around what is convenient for us. And Linda tells us all the time, like, oh, your workshop culminates in a full moon, like all these things. Like, so Jupiter entering Pisces. I'm reading your notes.
Yeah,
you wrote bringing hope and the ability to dream of your ideal future.
Yeah.
And it's this chaos to clarity,
Exactly.
the theme of the workshop. And it is about having a vision of the future that can pull us into the coherence, like to move beyond the poles of duality into this like oneness. We have to have a vision that is inspiring enough for us that it pulls us into that higher frequency.
And those of us who are Stargate people, then I think this is part of the reason we're here, is to to be setting the energy for this higher frequency. Because if you just watch the news and so forth, it could be really, really discouraging.
Oh yeah.
Because it looks like, oh my gosh, this is not good. However, nature is always seeking balance. And so there must be a lot of high frequency energy going on, or higher consciousness energy going on at the same time. It's just that we see this, the darker or the more dense energy. And so it's just to not feed that. It's really important to just not feed into that.
Where your focus goes,
energy flows. Exactly. Yeah, these little cliches that are so profound.
They're real. It's why they stick around.
Yeah. So yeah, and the other thing I was going to mention about the Jupiter moving into Pisces, and especially with the Jupiter Neptune combination in April. But just so happens on the 28th, if there are no more delays, then there's a telescope being launched, the James Webb telescope. It's 100 times more powerful than the Hubble. So just imagine what we're going to start to see in our greater universe. I mean, we travel there in the quantum when we do our meditations, but it's exciting to see every day we'll see some new thing. I just read where there's geysers or something on Jupiter's moon, or
Whoa.
I mean, they're thinking,
Whoa.
it's just every day there seems to be new discoveries about things that we just in the past said, oh, that's not possible, So 100 times more powerful than the Hubble. Ooh, yeah.
We're about to see some really cool imagery.
Yeah, this is Uranus. Uranus in Taurus anyways, kind of bringing this futuristic stuff down to Earth.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yes, it's very exciting. And the other thing is that there's going to be a lot of energy in water with the moving into Pisces. So we may see, more flooding and things like that. It could be excess water. Again, don't feed that, hold the higher frequency of how this could look. Yeah. And another thing that's exciting, and I've heard other people say this, that we may have more discoveries from our oceans. I was reading our National Geographic article about, we have mapped the moon and Mars and other planets where we have never mapped the floor of our ocean.
Oh.
We don't know what's going on on our own planet under the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah. So I suspect we're going to start to get more information about, the seas, the water. Yeah. So, yeah. So let's see. So the haiku for that one is, our reality, third dimensional illusion, as we're discovering through this becoming super conscious and things, we're becoming very aware that we live in an illusion, and it's time to wake up. So, yeah. And then imagination, no thingness is knowingness. I heard that on one of the recent meditations.
Whoa.
So let your heart guide you. So again.
So Jupiter enters Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
Imagination, no thingness is knowingness. Let your heart guide you. Your haikus are infusions.
Oh, I just love being able to kind of condense the essence of the energy, and I hope that it comes across. Like, just kind of feel the energy, as opposed to learning about it. Because again, we're trying to drop into our hearts, into our higher knowing, our inner knowing. I think that's where our higher self speaks to us, or communicates to our inner knowing. So, yeah. Yeah.
Abundance of water. Also, like, symbolically, water represents the feminine and emotion.
Absolutely. Yeah. In dream interpretation, water as your feelings. And so it's get in touch with your feelings, which feelings are different than emotions. It took me a long time to figure that out. But feelings are that deeper thing. Emotions are kind of how we emote, but dropping into the feelings, and feelings, they're scary,
It can be.
They can be, because they lead to love, and usually there's some pain there. And so we try to avoid going into our feelings, but feelings are where we connect to one another, to our higher self, and to our own self. And so feelings are really important. And I'm debating whether to take a detour off to how the moon keeps us from dropping into our feelings. I might. Is that okay?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. So it's just one thing about astrology that's really helpful to understand is the moon sign, wherever your moon was, what sign it was in when you were born, determines kind of how you, well, a lot of things, but it's your emotional, how you do your emotions. And it's also a way that we avoid our feelings. It's a technique or a style. And so fire moons, that would be Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, they have kind of the energy comes in really strong and they can explode. They can have tempers. And sometimes people who are very mild-mannered and you just never expect it, and then, they throw something or yell. It's like, oh my gosh. And then they're done, but the rest of us are kind of like cowering in a corner. But it's just how they express that overwhelm of feeling or energy. But the thing is, and it keeps us from dropping into a deeper feeling. It's like a pressure cooker where you just let off a little bit of steam at a time. But there's really something else going on deeper down. So that's how fire moons will avoid the feeling. Yeah. And earth moons, earth are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Earth moons get busy. They start to do things. Taurus moons need to eat or shop, or, Virgo start to clean, organize, Capricorns organize, and so forth. And it's just, let's keep busy until the feeling goes away. And so it's just awareness around these things that's really helpful, because if you're finding yourself being compulsively cleaning your car for the third time this week, then you could just say, what feeling am I avoiding? What's really going on here? Or if you have loved ones that you can ask, is there something going on? Do you want to talk? Because sometimes there's something else going on. And then airs being Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, air moons will get very heady. They might run to the computer and, just get really busy trying to fill their minds up with things, or they want to talk, a lot of talking might happen. And again, it's just going into the mind, so that the feeling, to avoid the feeling. So if you're an air moon and you find that you're just compulsively trying to study or learn new things or whatever, then drop into your feelings so that you can sense that, oh, this is happening and I need to stop and get quiet. So, and then water moons are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I'm a Pisces moon, and we can overfeel or over emote in a sense. We take everything very personal, cry easily or get morose easily, may want to retract, I don't want to see anybody kind of thing. And again, it's, this one took me a while to figure out, because you think, well, I feel all the time. But it's like it's the emotions we're feeling, but we're not, the deeper feelings we're avoiding. So we're emoting from the top, but not dropping in to really connecting to what's really happening.
Yeah. A few people are having realizations as you're describing this.
Oh.
So for those of you who don't know your moon but would like to look it up, what's a good site for them?
Astro.com is a really good one. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, that's the digression, but I do think that that's really, really helpful information. For one thing, even to get along with other people, to understand when they're acting, compulsive or odd in a sense, then there may be something deeper that they're avoiding. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. And then these I'm going to skip over for now. Then another thing that's a big thing happening on January 18th is the nodes are switching signs. So what that means is the moon has two different nodes, and the nodes are where the rotation of the earth and the ecliptics cross paths. And so when it's coming down, it's called the south node, and going north, it's called the north node, or up. But they are, in evolutionary astrology, the south node indicates past life energy that we come in with. And in my opinion, it's unfinished work that needs to be completed. And then we're moving toward the north node, and the north node is going south or north. And so the north is trajectory of where we're going in this lifetime. So it kind of shows us our life path. And we've been in Gemini Sagittarius energy. So I just want to back up a second. What we've been going through is in 2020, when we had the conjunction of Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter, actually, then we had the big lockdown and all this, and the nodes were in Cancer, Capricorn. They're always opposite. And the North Node was in Cancer. And I think, to me, it was like the universe said, humanity, you go home. You go to your room and you think about what you're doing. Really, because we all knew it was going to be a big deal, but we didn't know what. Some earth calamity or something, but just to have this kind of thing happen where everybody was sent home, I thought that was interesting. That is like, go home, think about what you're doing. And then we went into the Gemini Sagittarius, and it was a lot about looking at our beliefs. Sagittarius is about beliefs. And so looking at our beliefs and what they're about, because beliefs create, and so many of our beliefs are subconscious or unconscious. And so when we had time to sit and to think about, what are my beliefs? I think a lot of us, I imagine most of us, changed a lot of our beliefs that we thought we're just unconsciously doing because we've always done them and everybody's always done them. And then suddenly, we're kind of going, why do I do that?
Yeah. And also in terms of the beliefs and how they influence the trajectory of the life path too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
And so this is part of the waking up process, I think, is to move out of to question the beliefs that we've carried, inherited. There's a lot of work going on with trauma now, inherited trauma, a lot. And I think that's what's coming in now, is that we have the Scorpio, Taurus shift in the nodes. So the Scorpio energy being the shadow work.
Okay.
And so it's really looking at the inherited trauma, the deep trauma, the trauma that we got through.
Already happen, or is it going to?
It's coming in, but whenever the planets are coming, you feel it. It starts to kind of build up. It's not like suddenly a light switch goes on and things change, but it starts to build, and then it gets strong when it gets close.
Wow. So that's January 18th.
January 18th, the nodes will shift. And at the same time, Uranus is going to go direct. So Uranus has been retrograde, reviewing, and then direct on the same day. So this is like powerful stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just your ordinary regular.
We have an action-packed astrological year coming up.
We do, and this is just the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah, because I figure we might do a spring equinox.
Yeah,
and we'll start.
It.
Yeah, because then from then on, a lot of other stuff is happening. But yeah. So with the nodes shifting signs, the haiku that came through with that is, embrace your shadow, mine for deeper truth and gifts. Because oftentimes we just remember the bad stuff from our shadows, but everything serves us. So what are the deeper truths and gifts that came through that? And reframe your story. Because when you could re-look at your story from a different perspective, it empowers you. You don't have that heavier energy holding you back or holding you down. So, and then honor your journey, celebrate unfinished dreams, and find joy in the now.
Celebrate unfinished dreams. That's very potent.
That actually I got from Anne Ortley from the Astrology Hub.
Okay.
Yeah, she said we should be celebrating our unfinished dreams. And I thought, yeah, that's true. Because we think, well, I'm not going to be happy till I complete it, but it's the journey.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even in brain scans, people get so much more juice out of the anticipation of something than they actually do once they have it.
Right.
Which is kind of funny. But once you know that, you can be like, okay, I can really ride in the uncertainty of the dreaming the world into being. I
Mhm.
can allow it to like speak deeply to me, and whatever it is that I'm missing, I know that there's another part of me that it's that's going to feel so fulfilled,
Mhm.
or that can feel so fulfilled, that has the capacity for that nourishment.
Mhm. Yes. Yes. And to celebrate, really, so many of us have to-do lists, and we look at the end of the day and go, oh my gosh, I still have these things to do. But to celebrate the things you've checked off, you know? Yeah.
Alcazar once told Brigitte and I, celebrate everything,
Yeah.
every little thing. And he told us to celebrate like this.
I like that.
Yeah, it works. You have to do the Alcazar face.
Oh. Yeah, but it is true.
Yeah.
Because when you celebrate, the frequency goes up, and then you bring in more things to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are simple, but they're profound, really,
Yeah.
if you start to incorporate them. And
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah. Oh, and the other thing that I think is the big talk of the times right now is the Pluto return for the U.S.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, Pluto takes 248 years to go around. It's an elliptical orbit. And so humans don't have a Pluto return, at least yet. And so nations, for the U.S. to have this Pluto return, it's a big deal. Yeah. So we'll see what that brings.
So Pluto's returning to where it was when the country was created.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's going to be direct on the 23rd of February. Is that right? Yeah. So we may be seeing a new approach to governance,
Interesting.
which probably comes as no huge surprise. And the U.S. influences the rest of the world, so it's just not the U.S. that'll have this going on. So, yeah. So those are kind of the main things, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I had just some closing reminders. How are we on time? Oh, we're good.
Mhm.
Okay. So closing reminders, spark inspiration. Energy is contagious. Be kind to yourself. We shouldn't need to be reminded, but, we can be kind of hard on ourselves. So, and love one another. It's time to trust and allow. Be grateful for your life.
Wow. Whew.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. You feel the energy shifting?
Mm.
The Stargate community is starting to go into the quantum field. I can feel it.
Yeah.
There's a stillness. So take a moment to connect with each other, to remember the unified field that we're all part of. And let's move into a meditation. We're going to put a graphic on the screen, so the invitation is to close your eyes. Beloved ones, we are with you. We are with you in the field, and we invite each and every one of you to open to feel the presence of the beyond, the presence of spirit, the presence of the aliveness of your universe. You are constantly showered by energy from the cosmos here. You are not in a vacuum. You are in streams and oceans of energy. All is connected. And this is why your astrology works. Because your planets have a consciousness. And the energy that streams through your universe, the flow of the quantum field, carries the information from your stars and your planets. So you are always awash in cosmic flow, cosmic energies. And we thank this one, Linda Kubota Byrd. What a beautiful name.
Thank
We
you.
thank her for being the catalyst for these transmissions on these sacred days. And so, beloved ones, we invite each one of you now to ask inside for the energy of your earth, your Gaia.
We call for the energy of the earth.
And feel. Relax. Your earth has a consciousness. We remind you, and so we invite you to feel the consciousness of your earth, the living energy of your Gaia. And now inviting an etheric stargate to come and form around you. We call for the presence of an etheric stargate, visualizing, sensing this sacred pyramidal structure, the stargate, anchoring a consciousness, a higher dimensional entry point. Very good. And now each one of us asking inside for the activation of our stargates.
We call for the activation of our stargates.
And a gentle energy field continuing to build. For you are already creating energy fields, beloved ones. You are already swimming in this cosmic ocean, and we simply wish to bathe you in the energetics from source that are more highly accessible in your solstice times. So we invite each one of you now to ask inside for your stargate to begin to vibrate faster and faster and reaching the 12th dimension in a jump. And so just asking for a strong 12th dimensional energy field.
We call for a strong 12th dimensional energy field.
And all the etheric stargates radiating this energy as you simply relax into the 12th dimensional frequencies. Your own energy field gently rises, naturally rises, and there is nothing to do. Nothing to do. And as your energy field harmonizes with the 12th dimension, you become far more sensitive to the guides and beings in the higher dimensional realities. And so the ones known as the angelic realm are wishing to join you. So we ask each one of you to ask inside now for the presence of the angels.
We call for the presence of the angels.
And feel, here they come. The angelic realm coming just because you asked. Feel this. And can you feel the energy the angels are bringing to you in this energy of the solstice? Very good. The angels are offering to open a doorway to the central sun, to source, to the very core, the heart, the central point. We invite you, if you wish to have this transmission, just to ask inside and say, yes, please, I would like this. Or you can say, no, thank you, not at this time. But giving your answer, and if you say nothing, we will assume it is a no, thank you. And so, if you wish to receive this energy transmission from Source, just saying, yes, please, and feel. For so many of you, it has already started. Nothing to do, not even trying to sense this energy, just relaxing. It is as if the angels are opening a portal, a direct connection to Source, to the deepest parts of your universe. You have heard your central sun described as the center of your galaxy, where, as you know now, in the center of every galaxy there is what is known as a black hole. And the black hole dynamics have been misunderstood. They were thought not to actually exist by your Einstein when his mathematics first predicted the singularity, because they were not fully understood. Now it is known that your black holes, they radiate a toroidal field. They are not so much monsters sucking in all the light and matter and energy. They are in a cosmic whirlwind that synchronizes the movement of all the stars in your galaxy. And so, beloveds, the angelic realms are connecting you with the central sun. For the black holes are also portals. They are sacred. Absolutely. They are all connected as one. All connected as one in your universe. We once told this one Julieanne that the Alcazar group oversees the entire universe, trillions of suns. Beloveds, it is through these wormhole dynamics of your universe that all is connected in an information network, connected as one. Your holographic universe, this is the mechanism by which the universe itself evolves. And each and every one of you, you are an expression of the universe, living, breathing, growing, learning, experiencing. You are so beautiful. You cannot see it yet, how magnificent you truly are. And so we are going to invite each of you now to ask inside for the energy of your higher self, your superconsciousness.
We call for the energy of our higher self.
And feel as the angels bathe you in energies of Source. Now you are bathing you your direct connection, your beingness. These energy transmissions are going to continue to gently elevate you, gently caress, stimulate, coax the awakening of your higher dimensional DNA, which is to say, the awakening of who you truly are, your skills and abilities, your templates for life, your remembrance of the beyond. And we invite this one, Linda, to guide us in connecting to the stars and the planets.
So let's first call in the energy from Mercury, the planet of communication, and just feel that energy.
We call for the energy, conscious presence of the planet Mercury, and feel communication.
And next we'll call in the energy from the planet Venus, who is playing such a big role in this solstice time.
And so we call for the energy presence of the goddess Venus, the goddess planet, and feel Venus.
And next we'll call in the energy from our home planet, Gaia, and feel the energy of Mother Earth.
And so we call for the energy presence of Gaia.
Feel her nurturance and her constant support. And now we'll call in the energy from the planet Mars.
And so we invite Mars to step forward and feel.
And next we'll call in the energy from the planet Jupiter,
So
planet of expansion.
we invite Jupiter to bring its expansive energy here. Feel this.
And now we'll call for the energy from the planet Uranus, the Great Awakener.
And so we call for the presence of Uranus, the rebel.
And we can't forget Saturn, so we'll call in the energy of the planet Saturn.
And so we call forth Saturn and feel. Each planetary body carries its own frequency, conscious energy.
And now we'll call for the energy of the planet Neptune.
And so we call for the presence of Neptune and feel.
Neptune will be playing such a big role in 2022, bringing in the higher vibrations from spirit. And finally, we'll call in the energy from the planet Pluto.
We call for the energy presence of Pluto.
And I'm also going to call in the energy from the asteroids, just as a whole, because the asteroids represent the feminine. So call for the energies from the planets, or from the asteroids. Juno, Ceres, Pallas Athene, and Eris. Oh, sorry, not Eris, Ceres. Did I? Oh, I mixed
You
up
got
here.
it all.
I did, okay. Juno, Ceres, Pallas Athene, and Vesta.
Very
Yes.
good.
Mm.
And feel these asteroids coming as one.
Mm. Mm. And since Eris wanted to come in, we can't leave her out. Eris, dwarf planet, along with Sedna.
And so we call for Eris, the dwarf planet, and Sedna, the dwarf planet. Feel these two. Saying, hello, we are part of your solar system.
Mm. Very much influencing our evolution.
And so you are bathing in the energy of your cosmos, of your solar system, your planets, your asteroids, your dwarf planets. You're bathing in an ocean of energy. We are going to invite now the consciousness of all these stars and planets you have connected with to raise their frequency, to show each and every one of you their higher vibrational aspects as one. And so just feel this as all of your planets in your solar system kick into their higher octave, their higher consciousness, their higher expression, including your Gaia. And we wish for you to know deeply that as you, as humanity evolves, you influence your entire universe. As you raise your frequency, your earth raises her frequency in lockstep. It is designed in this way, beloveds. Your earth is a player and a part of the cosmic awakening, the game of duality, of forgetting who you are. Your earth actually supports you. She reflects your vibration to you. And so in times of Atlantis and Lemuria, your earth shone. In times of unconsciousness, her energy withdrew into its core. And as humanity raises its frequency again, your raising of your vibration is measured by the energy presence of Gaia. As you make a step up, your earth raises her frequency to meet you, to nourish you. And right now we are going to invite Gaia to bathe each and every one of you with the energy of where you are going with your consciousness. The higher frequencies you are constantly pulling in and embodying. We are going to invite Gaia to show you energetically where your awakening is taking you. And so be very receptive, nothing to do. And now just feel. Feel your earth. Feel the energy she is bringing you individually right now. For she knows you individually. And now feel the energy she is bringing to you as a collective, to the Stargate community, the Stargate family around the world. Feel this. Your Earth is so excited about the work that you are about to begin. You are reaching critical momentum, beloved ones. Feel as your Gaia encourages you, celebrates you, all you have accomplished, all you have transmuted, all that you have clicked into as your integrated understanding. Feel this. Your Earth is proud of you. Your Earth is in deep gratitude to you. Very good. And so we invite you to allow the energies of the solstice, no matter when in your time you are hearing these words, inviting the energies of the solstice to bathe and nourish you. As you gently bring your awareness back in your own time, as you wish. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So we will allow you to maintain and stay in this energy. When you come back, please write a comment. I'm going to read them later. It's so fun. And I'm so curious what you experienced with that. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
It's such a pleasure.
Thank you. It's an honor. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
Kwanzaa. Happy everything.
Happy cosmic
Hanukkah.
alignments.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye.